Good evening. Let us start with the today's edition of The Hindu. Headlines are there. The Supreme Court asked Enforcement Directorate Chief to quit. But the amendment that has been brought into the Civil Central Vigilance Commission Act that allows for the three annual extensions to a CBI director or enforcement ED directors are being held by the Supreme Court also. But the Supreme Court has asked for the current incumbent ED chief to leave before his tenure ends in November. This is 4 months ahead of his retirement. He has got already 3 extensions in the being chief of the ED. Another news comes is that on Kashmir Constitutional Bench led by CJI, Division Chur is taking the abolition of Article 370, and the government's earlier response regarding that situation has improved in Kashmir. 3-tier Panchayati Raj elections has been held, and other measures are. It says that centre's views on Kashmir's situation has no bearing on Article 370 case. So what is the current situation and what they like stone throwing incidents or action on the money laundering cases, various huge and politicians and all things are being okay, it's fine. But Supreme Court has said that the situation in Kashmir post abolition of Article 370 has no bearing on the case because it will look into the constitutionality of the act, and the hearing will start again on August 2nd. It's something unfolding story, and we need to follow on it. Another news, front page news, important news is that the Goods and Services Tax Council has imposed 28% taxes on online gaming, casinos. Because it was in due course, it was expected like that it will be treated as sin goods, and accordingly the highest slab of the GST will be put into. Another thing in that is that it should have the appellate benches in all the state capitals. It's coming soon, and wherever the High Court has the bench. That is the main 3 major front page news we have. Then let us move to other important section. That's we come to the editorial section right now, and then we'll go for the text and context section. That is 2-page important articles that they have dealt with in the today's editorial. Important one is the one greenwashing. Okay, another one is the demographic transition and change in women's lives. This greenwashing, this first editorial written by The Hindu is that changes to conservation laws must be backed by scientific evidence. What does it say? It says that the Forest Act, that was 1980, the Forest Conservation Act 1980 is going to change. The Forest Act 1980, under which right now all the measures being taken and whatever it is there has to be held, is now going to be changed because the Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023 is with the joint committee of Parliament. And what are the issues that are being considered? So, social forestry and private gardening and things like that, plantation, afforestation, these issues are going to be included into it. Let's say they have the changes, and it may be used for carbon credits also. It says that some of those who are indulging in the afforestation or in the private lands or wherever it is, in later on, government is going to count it as a forest cover, because we have a target of increasing our forest cover to 33%. 33%, yes, and by 2030. So they are going to change, and this land measures has to be seen into this context as to the Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023 should incorporate things that are based on scientific evidence, not on the private sector's greed or amplification of their requirements. Another one editorial is on regarding that Indian cricket team's West Indies visit and how it could regain its lost glory and all after losing in the Lord's last ICC World Cup. So it's not that much important. Those who follow strictly ball by ball commentary of the cricket, they can go for that one. Another important article in this section, editorial part, is the first one, demographic transition and change in women's lives. Demographic transition in the sense that now life expectancy has increased and mortality rate has come down. Mortality rate has come down, and due to this reason, what we find that now fewer children are there, and mothers woman has got time now for other things, like she could make career in her time, extra timing. So it says that while with a fertility decline, active mothering occupies a smaller proportion of women's lives, creating a space for education and employment. But it's not in practical sense, because early marriage leads to breakup of the career of the woman. So it says that it's a big chance that the data still says that becoming mother at the early age leads to women's shrinking of occupational space. And it and apart from that, it has means that its main emphasis is, first thing it says that change for Indian woman, it's a realistic, it's a pragmatic, after controlling the family planning measures, overall health improvement, health situation in public hospitals, as well as availability of tertiary level hospitalization, and that has led to this condition that now they don't have to have number of children in order that they would few will survive or something like that. Nothing like that. Now they are sure of the child that is being born having a good life, and that has led to the confidence of mothers, and ultimately it has led to the empowerment of women. But this is not changing into a gender dividend. That's a harnessing gender dividend, that woman power that we have are not being properly utilized for their own career advancements and all, because it very crucial question it raises, that the age when career has to be made, a very precarious situation is that, and that age group, if someone is getting married and having children, it breaks her career choices, and she is quite capable of only manual nature of jobs in after time period lapses for the active career planning. That is important for demographic transition and change in women's lives. Then we go for the one important article in our op-ed section. Okay, that's a very important article regarding Informed Civil Code. Okay, we have discussed in the classroom Informed Civil Code written by Faizan Mustafa earlier in the Hindu's editorial itself, and how he had said that in the name of cultural relativism, law has not to be devoured or deferred for that. It has to be a piecemeal approaches and taking into consideration the diversity, and the crux of the issue is that unity in diversity motto should be preserved while framing the UCC laws. And we are aware of that Law Commission of India has yet not come out with the draft resolution of the Informed Civil Code. It is they have asked for the opinions, suggestions from common people, and they are getting. So it's one of the piece of, as we said to our students, we have earlier also said that make sure that go for wide range of reading, because we have very varied opinions on whether it's a good or bad. Let us go back. This particular article discusses, that is being written by Captain G.R. Gopinath. Some of you might be aware of him, his identity, because he was the founder of he is basically path breaker, you could say, of the economy air tourism. Air Deccan was his project, and he was the first person. In Tamil there is a movie made on this his enterprise, and that won the national award also last year. His daughter Geeta Gopinath is the Deputy Managing Director of International Monetary Fund. Earlier she was the Chief Economist of the IMF. And as a civilian, he has presented his opinion, and what he starts with saying that Informed Civil Code was something that even Jawaharlal Nehru as well as B.R. Ambedkar wanted to have it. But cliche was that, point of view is that they wanted to have it voluntarily. So while the Hindu code bill came into existence, but for other religions like Muslims and non-Muslim personal law and other things were kept within the community, that they will voluntarily come forward to get rid of regressive practices prevalent in their religion, and that can be removed by their own efforts, and all government will come then one. But now it seems like that government is prepared to bring a Informed Civil Code, and that will have its own advantages in developed societies, in mature democracies. It doesn't matter. Gender is not an issue. Religion is not an issue. It's your individual by default identity. So being male or female doesn't matter. Gender doesn't make differences. Now we can say that as basic example, we can understand that basically Informed Civil Code concerns with what? As you know it very well aware of, that our societies, in order to have a framework or law and order and semblance of harmony in the society, we have framed common civil codes and criminal codes. Okay, so this civil codes, common civil codes, that should typically in a democracy it should be one, means because it takes into consideration what are the issues that are being considered in this purview, that is a personal laws. They are like marriage, divorce, succession, alimony, adoption. So these are the major issues, and writer has a view that a country like India, which has multiple, of course it has a multiple identity, varied linguistic and other, but still we can do, what we can do is that we can go for Informed Civil Code, and that will make, irrespective of a person being born to a particular religion, their laws, personal laws will be equal to all, and that has to be enforced, and it should be done in such a manner that it should not create panic among a particular community. So that's the one unseemly politics on Informed Civil Code. It says, it has emphasized, that's the irony of this whole thing is that earlier those people who had supported the Informed Civil Code are now opposing it, and the party, right-wing parties that had always had some, because within the Hindu personal law courts are also some discord and things like that, like the concept of the joint Hindu family, this concept that has been banned in Kerala, as you know it very well, but only in Kerala. Other places it does exist, and cultural aspects and some you could say customs do vary among the Hindus in the North and South India. So it's ironic part is that those who were earlier opposing, now they are adamant to implement it, and the parties that were earlier supporting are now in the opposition camp. So now let us move to another section. That's a text and context. It's a very important section, text and context. That is the first one is that North India's monsoon mayhem. Mayhem, you understand what does it mayhem? Chaos. Okay, organized, unorganized chaos. That is mayhem. India's monsoon mayhem. Why it is so that it's somewhere it is too much of rainfall, somewhere it is too little of rainfall. It is a delayed monsoon, and what is the, you know it very well, southwest monsoon. It's a 4-month, 80% of the rainfall occurs in these 4 months of the incoming southwest monsoon. And what we find, this article tells about that in the, as you know that in the Himalayan, the northwest Himalayan regions, it has created havoc by landslips, flash floods and other things that has excessive rainfall that has led to. And first time that in 50 years, last 50 years, Mumbai and Delhi received monsoon on the same day. and the issues related with the pre-monsoon showers also, that where it was effective and where it was not effective. Another important point is that this erratic nature of monsoonal rainfall has some regions like El Nino. El Nino is a phenomena in El Nino, La Nina. El Nino means basically a young infant Jesus. Okay, and it's a Pacific, the Atlantic Pacific region. It's a warming of the surface temperature. If it is this phenomena is El Nino, and when it is getting cold of the surface, it's a cyclic phenomena when trade winds are being disturbed by other factors. So this warming up of the sea surface waters is known as El Nino, and it is said that it has impact over the southwest monsoon also, because you know that what is the southwest monsoon? It's trade winds that are blowing down the equator, and due to Coriolis effect it changes its direction and it touches our Indian peninsula in the southern part and bifurcates into Bay of Bengal branch of the southwest monsoon and Arabian Sea branch of the south monsoon, and how does it reaches in the Himalayas by crossing the Bay of Bengal and having the all droplets and things like that. So this is a very important article, and anyway you should have an idea of what's a monsoon and how does it get affected. Still we don't have exact you could say forecast. We are having the forecast, but not that much, because it's a very complex phenomena. It's not that Indian Meteorological Department is not working on it. They are working on it, and they have supercomputers. The earliest supercomputers are installed there, but still it's such a lengthy, complex phenomena that it to granular sense get its updates is a difficult phenomena. You must read this article, and then we have the what is the legal row between farmers and PepsiCo. Lay Pepsi, you have taken out that costly Lay Pepsi. They have a particular brand of potato. That's a named age. That brand of potato is known as something FL2027. That's they say that in America these have this particular potato that has quality. What quality? That they don't have see some features they have given to these potatoes that they wanted to get the patent of that one. Okay, and these features are like they have low external defects, that's why no spots or something, low external defects, high dry matter, high solid content, stable sugars, and that makes suitable for manufacturing of chips. Okay, so Pepsi does the production. It's involved in, it buys, it's a captive farmers growing potato, particular brand of potato, that is the potato brand is this name is FL2027. And what happened? What is the legal law? That this has been the Delhi High Court rejects Pepsi company's India patent appeal for unique Lay's potato. So patent of the Lay potato, that I said that they had certain features, and it was through hybrid means it was developed in USA, and they are doing it captive farming in Punjab especially, Pepsi. And so they wanted to have a particular, they got the patent, but later on it was found that it was the violation of the certain act of the act is known as the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority. That is the protection of plant varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority. Okay, that is the revoking Pepsi's registration. Unique potato variety developed by it. That is say that unique potato variety it has got it. So this you understood that one particular potato has a name patented FL2027, and it's a PPV and FR Act 920/2001. Now another article that we have, it's a big article, that's a good article that we'll quickly handle. It said that what we lose when we work with giant artificial intelligence like ChatGPT. We have already mentioned number of times, and we have done the passage on ChatGPT. That is, what is ChatGPT? It's a large language model AI chatbot, and it's quite capable of bringing lots of features, abilities it has, and it can write long form article, it can pass examinations, it can write poems, draw pictures and things like that. So this article, particular article, it concerned with ChatGPT. Okay, and it is says that certain issues that it handles are that uh, what is high modernism? What is a high modernism? That means what? It's a modernism sense here it develops that we have developed artificial general intelligence, and the same thing it is they have now the AGI we said, but here it's a GAI. Okay, have no room for democratic input. They are designed from the top down. It says that modernism. It's a the way it is being designed. Chat who influences? They say are they sentient or not? That is a big question because now they are claiming. You might have heard of that few months back. A Google engineer was sacked for saying that his chatbot has become sentient. That is sentimental or and things like so. This is one good article on ChatGPT, and as we forgot, that we have to know. One important thing you should go for that the Hindu has started again Know Your English section. They have earlier very popular section Know Your English, and wherein they discuss certain words, some sayings, phrases. They by making sentence very beautiful way they do it, and then we have news regarding. One important news that last I would like to discuss, important one that in the previous last newspaper discussion we have discussed about Hindenburg and Gautam Adani's row, that is SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, is incapable of finding out who is the real beneficiary of these firms, that is 13 foreign portfolio investors, FPIs. And why? This was, as you know, that it's going on in Supreme Court. Prashant Bhushan for the petitioners said that the change in 2018 of the law has led to this situation where the SEBI has reached the SEBI has faced the wall. Now it has no clue about who are the real beneficiary of these firms and all. And so mainly it's a the change in the law regarding the they have one known term is the opaque. This is that is one moment, that is opaque structure statute. No, open structures. Okay, opaque structures. Okay, that means that it is no more necessary to disclose the ultimate beneficiary of a firm that are registered in tax havens and all. So it's a Tushar Mehta appearing for the SEBI had said that it's not like that. Supreme Court has given us time and we are pursuing it and we will do it. Last concluding news from the world section will take about the Ukraine's membership to the NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, wherein they have agreed, NATO has agreed, NATO Director General has given a statement that we are willing to take Ukraine into our fold. They are already 31 member, European, America and Turkey are they are the countries in the NATO, and they have already said that in principle we are ready, but they have not given any timetable or something like that, and Volodymyr Zelensky is very much angry over this fact. So let us conclude. We will start. Hope you will enjoy this one. Please give attention. There may be some editorial editing loopholes, but don't go for that. Go use your headphones to listen, and I try to minimize my time to totally daily analyze your The Hindu made easy. Thank you very much.